This is a short episode that I like to call Voice Notes from Linn, and these are especially made for Substack. So in these shorter episodes, I will share something that have sparked my thinking. Maybe it might be something from a recent conversation I had with somebody, or it might be through something that I read or listened to, and that made me ponder and think further around these subjects, around food eating, body image, and more. And I hope that this would be helpful for you in your own recovery journey. And again, as always, thank you so much for being here. So this week's voice note is going to be a mindful tea drinking meditation. And the reason I am bringing this to you this week is because I've just come back from some travels and meeting with my dear colleagues from the Centre for Mindful Eating, on which I have the great privilege of being on the board for a number of years now. And we are also in summer, at least here in the Northern Hemispheres, and I think this is a really good time to try to carve out a little bit of time for that mindful eating, mindful tea drinking, mindful coffee drinking if you prefer, and giving ourselves space to slow down. Because I don't know about you, but I often feel like life is running at a million miles an hour. And I feel that in itself can feel stressful when I feel like I'm missing out. So I was looking back for finding this meditation that I put together years ago for a workshop that I delivered. But when I was reading through the document, I noticed that I have written that one of my favorite writers, which you may be familiar with, who's sadly no longer with us, John O'Donoghue, or I should say, whom was a Irish poet and theologian, and he wrote several books, which are all beautiful. But one of the things that he says is that time is present. And the thing is, at least in my experience, is that when we're fully present with whatever we're doing, it's kind of a little bit like time is standing still. And we're experiencing everything around us with more intensity and more clarity. So creating that space to be fully aware and fully present, of course, it's not always a positive experience, but when we're doing it with intention and when we're in a place where we're feeling quite connected, it can just brings more space and just like more richness, I think, to our experience. And the beauty with a mindfulness practice and a mindful eating practice is really that it's something that we can take with us wherever we go. So today, in this week's voice note from Linn, I'm going to invite you to practice a mindful eating, a mindful eating practice is really centered around a mindful drinking practice. And I'm not really talking about alcohol here, but whether you like tea or coffee, or currently at the time of recording, it's actually quite hot here. So maybe you just want to drink some water, or do you like a smoothie or a juice? This is a practice just to really help you bring some mindfulness to your everyday life. So if you're somebody who says, oh God, I just don't have time to meditate, it just takes too much time, bringing mindfulness to our eating experience, or in this case, your coffee drinking or tea drinking experience, is a way of cultivating this slowing down presence practice and being present practice in your everyday life with things that you're already doing. So if you want to pause the audio here, you can do that and go and get yourself a nice cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is you like to drink, and then come back to it, and I'll be here waiting for you to take you through this practice. And again, this practice might be something that you want to save and come back to again, so make sure that you do that. If you want to mark it in your email, or you save it in whatever podcast platform you happen to listen to this in, or if you listen on Substack, there's also a save button. But anyway, go and get your drink and come back here in a few minutes, and I'll guide you through this. So before tucking into your drink, just gently pause and take a few slow, deep breaths. And you might try exhaling longer than you're breathing in. And allowing yourselves to become centered, grounded, present in this moment. Letting everything go that has come before, letting any thoughts, worries, anxieties go about what might come next, or what you might be doing once you've finished drinking your cup of tea or coffee or juice or smoothie. So just looking at your cup of tea, your coffee, whatever is in your cup or glass, taking in the shape of the cup or glass, the color of it. And if you're holding it in your hand, just notice how this cup or glass feels against the skin of your hands. What are the physical sensations that you're experiencing? Maybe there's warmth, maybe it's cool, maybe it's smooth, maybe it's sharp, knobbly, whatever. Just notice, what is this experience like? Holding this cup of tea or smoothie or glass of something to drink in your hand in this moment. And you might want to bring the drink, the liquid, up to your nose, smelling it, taking in the aroma from your drink, from your tea or coffee or smoothie. And just really noticing how the tones hit your nose. And maybe there's memories or images or thoughts coming up. And just noticing these gently and then letting them go. And as you take a mindful sip, allow yourself to feel the sensations of the liquid in your mouth. Letting your senses engage with the flavors of your drink, your tea, coffee, juice, water even. And just noticing, what can you taste? And as you continue to drink, do you notice any flavor changes? Do you notice any flavor changes or changes of sensations in your mouth after you've swallowed the liquid? Maybe you taste anything else. Is there any flavors that are lingering? And as you sense the liquid moving down the back of your throat and into your belly, and this sense of warmth or coolness spreading, allow your imagination to imagine this warmth or coolness as a sense of kindness spreading throughout your body. Imagine the energy from the food and the drink being embraced by all the cells in your body, leaving them filled up with light and energy to function at their very best. And continue to slowly drink your tea or coffee or smoothie or water, the drink that you have in front of you, allowing your senses to open up to your surroundings. And what else are you noticing going around you? And if you're finding your mind wandering off, just gently bring it back to the taste experience, the experience of holding the mug or cup or glass. Maybe you want to bring your experience back, or sensory experience or attention back to your bum on the seat, any support from the chair or whatever you're sitting on. And just keep being present for this experience, and every time your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the anchor of this experience of drinking your tea or coffee or water, juice, smoothie, mindfully. And once you're finished drinking your cup of tea or coffee or juice or smoothie, just gently bring your attention into the wider sense of your surroundings and sort of widening your awareness to include what's around you. And then hopefully this nourishing experience will guide you throughout your day in a more calming, grounded manner. So just a few words that I have mentioned, like tea, coffee, or smoothie or whatever, but if there's any other drink that you like hot chocolate, for example, which would be delicious, I think, when the weather gets cooler again, you could do the same ritual with this. Or if you're somebody who loves your morning coffee, for example, or your morning cup of tea, this is a beautiful ritual, and feel free to adapt it as suits you best, where you bring your attention. But it's a way of like grounding in the moment, that it's in something that's already part of your everyday. And having rituals like this can serve as beautiful anchors for our day when, it's easy to kind of lose our sense of ourselves and we're feeling really kind of stressed and running around like headless chickens. Maybe that's just me, but just having something to come back to. And if you're already somebody who likes a cup of tea or coffee or a hot chocolate or something like that, I hope that this would be another way of just really honor that space and moment, and maybe creating some sacredness around it. And of course, this is also something that we can do with having a snack or even a meal. But for this particular exercise, I have decided that we'll focus on drinking a cup of tea or coffee or something, like a nourishing, tasty liquid that is helping you feeling a bit more centered in your everyday life. So again, thank you so much for listening. And if you want to leave a comment or anything, and you're on Substack, or even in the email after you listen to this, please, I would love to hear your thoughts. Or is there anything else that you've been thinking about when it comes to mindful eating and these kind of guided practices? Because I would love to develop some more that we as a community could practice together, and ways that you were thinking, this would be, you could either please share, feel free to send me a message or a reply, an email with any kind of suggestions you have, or any struggles where you think, I would love a practice that was centered around this, or that helps me come back to a more grounded place when I'm feeling like out of control or disconnected when it comes to food and eating. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you. And again, of course, as always, thank you so much for your attention and listening, and go gently. And that was everything for this week. If you want to find out more, you can find me on my Substack, Joyful Nourishment, or you can go and visit my website, www.straightforwardnutrition.com. And please come back to Substack and leave a comment if this have sparked your interest, if it had made you think, if you have something that you want to share that would be helpful for all of us in this community as we grow together. Again, thank you, and I'll see you soon.